suspecting Asa of a foul play, and in a desperate bid for revenge, she too sought the help of a native doctor, this time requesting a spell that will render Kwame completely impotent. So many years ago, in an ancient kingdom in Africa, there lived a young man named Kwame. He was deeply in love with a young girl named Asa. Asa's parents were not happy at all with this relationship ongoing between their daughter and Kwame because he was from a very poor background. Asa's parents wanted their daughter to marry a wealthy man that will pull their entire family out of poverty. But Asa was deeply in love and paid deaf ears to her parents' disapproval. One evening, in a bid to talk sense into their only daughter, Okoro, Asa's father summoned her for a brief family meeting.
Asa, my daughter.
The father called her in a calm voice.
Our elders have a saying, if a dead tree in the forest falls on another dead tree, both will fall to the ground.
Asa remained silent, wondering where this conversation was going.
My daughter, I'm aware you are in love with Kwame, son of the palm wine tapper, but take a very good look at him. He is very poor. He can barely feed himself, let alone take good care of you.
He said. Asa evaded her father's gaze, wishing this conversation could end as soon as possible. The father continued.
Take a good look at us. We are poor. We need you to marry a very wealthy man to help us escape the grip of poverty in this family.
After a brief silence, Asa finally summoned enough courage to reply her father. Father, I know you want the best from me, your only daughter, but I love Kwame. I can't leave him, though he is poor. I'm ready to stay with him against all odds, she said, her voice shaking from her emotion. This made Okoro very angry, and he left in anger, threatening to disown her if she continued this relationship with Kwame. Despite the threats and advice from her parents, Asa continued the relationship with Kwame all the same. Okoro forbid Asa from seeing her lover and always kept a watchful eye on her. This made Asa very sad, so the lovebirds devised a clever way to meet each other. More often, without interruption, each night she listened intently for a gentle tap on the window of her hut in the dead of the night when everyone in the compound is fast asleep. Once she hears the sound pattern they have prearranged, she will come out silently to meet with her lover at the back of their compound. This relationship continued like this until the unthinkable happened. Asa's mother started seeing some signs on her daughter that gave her great concern. My daughter, are you pregnant? She queried. Asa was shocked and taken aback. No, Tufue. Mama, how can you say something like this? My daughter, I am not a child. The signs of pregnancy is written all over your body, she said. The news of his daughter's pregnancy soon reached Okoro, and he marched in with a great anger.
So, you had the audacity to get yourself pregnant under my roof. Tell me, who is responsible for this pregnancy?
Under pressure, Asa finally opened up, revealing she is pregnant for Kwame. This made Okoro very angry, so he told her,
My daughter, our people have a saying, we can't deprive a child from growing big teeth, but the child should also grow big lips to cover it up.
Asa looked down, tears rolling down her face.
I forewarned you about your relationship with Kwame, but you didn't listen. Henceforth, you are no longer my daughter, and I don't want to ever set eyes on you again.
Asa cried and begged, but all her plead fell on deaf ears, and her father threw her out of the house. Asa packed to Kwame dilapidated hut at the outskirts of the village, where they struggled to cater for their unborn child and build their life together from the ground up. But the grip of poverty on them was very strong. Even to eat was a problem. They looked for any menial job to do just to make ends meet. They spent their days fetching firewood in the forest, which they sold for meager sums just to keep body and soul together. Their diet consisted mainly of pancake fruits and sokengari, cassava flake, a meager existence that left them hungry more often than not. Soon, Asa was due for delivery and she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Despite their hardship, Kwame and Asa remained steadfast in their love for each other and their daughter, with the strong belief that one day their suffering will be over. They worked tirelessly to keep body and soul together. Often they helped the local farmers to harvest their crops in exchange for leftover crops that they would then live on. Their bond only grew stronger as they weathered each trial and tribulation together, finding solace in their shared love and determination. Just when all hope was lost, the unimaginable happened. One day, while digging for firewood in the forest, his hoe struck an unusually strong object. Upon closer look, it was an ancient, odd-looking clay pot, covered in years of death, with some strange inscription engraved on it. Scared, he jumped back swiftly, wondering what could be contained in this ancient relic. Though scared, his curiosity took the better of him. Taking one step at a time, he carefully removed the lid from the pot and was bewildered by the sights that greeted his eyes. The old pot was filled to the brim with glittering gold coin and precious stone of great value. Surprised and confused, he quickly looked around to see if anyone was looking. There was no one around. The goddess of good luck must have smiled on him today. As tempting as the content of this mysterious pot looked, Kwame was torn between leaving the pot where it was, as he don't know the fate or circumstances that brought it there, or taking this pot of treasure home and ending their miserable existence once and for all. After much deep thought, he succumbed to the allure of this mysterious pot. The life of abundance the content of this pot could bring to his wife and daughter was worth taking any risk for. Finally, his family will be respected in the village and all the neighboring kingdom. He thought to himself with a big grin of self-satisfaction across his face. Carefully, he wrapped the pot in some old rags and carried it home. Hey, before we jump right back into the story, today's hug goes to Miss Joyce watching our videos from the USA. Thanks for your love and support. Where are you watching us from? Type it in the comment section so I can send you a hug in our next video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Anita Chocolates. Alright, back to the story. When he revealed the content of the pot to his wife, she was in awe and great shock. When the husband explained the circumstances around the discovery of the treasure, it became very apparent luck had shined on them, their days of poverty were over. They sold this treasure and Kwame bought very large expanse of land and cattle, with many workers farming on his land and rearing the cattle. And Kwame became a man of exceedingly great wealth. He was loved and respected by all. Soon news of his wealth traveled to all the neighboring villages and kingdoms. Many could not fathom how he managed to move quickly from poverty to becoming the richest person in the kingdom. Richer than the king, he had a purse of endless supplies, some said. There were many rumors about the source of his wealth, with some concluding that he must have been blessed by some dark powers. Kwame ignored all the rumors and focused his energy on increasing his financial empire. He knew where he was coming from and he don't want to go back to the life of extreme hardship he and his family have experienced. The wife was greatly respected by the people and she and her daughter lived a life fit for royalty. But in all this, trouble was lurking at the corner. It was one fateful afternoon. Kwame saw her. He was going about his daily routine, supervising his workers at the farm and his other businesses. While passing through the village square, Kwame saw this girl. Though a humble village girl, she possessed a beauty that words could not truly define. Her hair cascading down her back in a dark shimmering waves, her skin as smooth as well-polished bronze, her smile can melt even the hardest stone. She possessed a beauty that made Kwame stood still in his track. He ordered one of his servants to make inquiry about this girl. It soon turned out that she was Chidera, the daughter of Shidi, the wood seller. Kwame was deeply in love with her. Try as he may, he can't remove her thoughts from his mind. So he started sending expensive gifts to the household in a bid to win Chidera love and affection. Sure enough, the allure of Kwame's great wealth was just too much for Chidera to ignore, and she fell for Kwame. Meanwhile, Asa was beginning to notice the telltale signs that her beloved husband was going out with another woman. He now come back home very late. Sometimes he sleep out altogether. This was very strange. Asa was unhappy, though she and her daughter are in the midst of great abundance. She can't bear the thought of losing her husband to another woman. Kwame grew distant and cold each passing day. He even skipped Asa's delicious meals. But the height of this was when Kwame moved Chidera into their main mansion to live with him. Asa was pissed. She cried her eyes out. "How can you do this to me?" she said, tears rolling down her eyes. "So you have forgotten all the pains and suffering I passed through because of you? My parents disowned me because of you. I couldn't reconcile with my dad before he passed away. And this is how you pay me back?" she said, tears falling freely down her face.
Woman, listen and listen good. I'm a man, and I have the right to take as much women as possible. If you are not comfortable with this, you are free to pack your load and go.
Kwame fired back at her. Asa was hot, but there was nothing she could do but to accept the second woman into their home. And that was the greatest mistake of Kwame. Kwame was intoxicated by the beauty of Chidera. He was always around her all time. Whenever he was invited for an occasion, he made sure Chidera was always by his side, relegating Asa to the background, which made her very sad. He carried Chidera on expensive vacation to a distant land to see the wonders of the white man's land, forgetting Asa, the woman who stood by his side when there was nothing. Asa watched helplessly as her husband drifted further and further away from her. He don't find her attractive anymore, but rather he preferred to be with Chidera. She felt betrayed and abandoned, longing for the love they once shared. As if the neglect Asa was facing was not enough, Kwame stopped touching her in the other room altogether. This was the last straw that broke the camel's back. For months, she bared the pains and neglect and the urge that comes with marital deprivation. Determined to win back her husband's affection, Asa sought the help of a local native doctor. She begged him to cast a spell that would make Kwame impotent whenever he attempted to touch Chidera. Desperate to save her marriage, Asa was willing to do whatever it took to keep her family together. To Kwame's great shock, he found himself completely inactive whenever he wanted to serve it up to Chidera in the other room. This was frustrating, and Chidera was very unhappy and was starting to act cold towards Kwame. For months, Kwame struggled with his newfound impotence, unable to satisfy his desire with Chidera. Frustrated and confused, he turned to Asa for comfort and solace. To his pleasant surprise, his Odogu stood up, and he served it out to Asa that night. But whenever he tried touching Chidera, his Odogu was not responsive. So he started withdrawing from Chidera and went back to his faithful wife once more. This made Asa very happy. Her plan worked. Now she can have her husband all to herself once more. Well, so she thought, but fate had other plans up its sleeve. Asa's victory was short-lived as Chidera grew increasingly resentful of her husband's inability to perform. Suspecting Asa of a foul play and in a desperate bid for revenge, she too sought the help of a native doctor, this time requesting a spell that will render Kwame completely impotent. She wanted Asa to have a taste of her own medicine. As the effect of the spell took hold, Kwame found himself powerless to fulfill his marital duty to both Asa and Chidera. He watched helplessly as his wives grew distant and cold, their love and affection replaced by bitterness and resentment. Chidera, the younger wife, angrily packed out of Kwame's house and soon remarried to another man, showing her true color at the time of Kwame's darkest hour, leaving Asa to suffer the consequences of their action. Asa, though angry and bitter, stood by her husband, showing the quality of a good wife. Heartbroken, Kwame realized the extent of his mistake and the damage he had caused to himself and his family. Will Asa's love for her husband stand the test of time? Will Kwame gain his manhood back? Watch out in our next episode. Thanks for watching today's episode from Anita Chocolate. We have noticed that over 90% of our viewers are not yet subscribed to this channel. So if you are not yet subscribed, please smash the subscription button. It really encourages us to dish out more quality content like this. Also turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Like and share this video. See you in our next episode. Bye.